just trying to be consistent. I think coming out of Tampa and Minnesota and Pittsburgh wasn't the result we wanted, but I thought we played hard. I thought we competed. There's still some areas that we can be better at, and things that we can do harder. But it's getting that consistent level of play that we're looking for.
That looked like your game, though, last night. I mean, it looked like your style of game where you like to have you guys play. Yes or no?
Along those lines, yeah. Within the framework, I'd say the most part. But I still think there's things that we can do better, things that we can do, just be harder at. In the offensive zone, I think we had offensive zone time, but we got to get something done. Winning a one-on-one battle, getting a puck to the net, and going to the net with a little bit more determination as far as what we want to accomplish there to create more scoring chances.
Tonight, another Metropolitan Division game, obviously really important. They're all important to get points, but these interdivision games are really
very important. Team that we're is ahead of us in the standings, and it's a home game for us. And the home games are where you got to take care of business. So no, this is a huge game for our hockey team. It's a big game for them too.
You were able to get to the net, get some shots on the net against another defensively sound team in Minnesota. Jersey's right there with them as far as the numbers. I mean, was that a point of emphasis maybe with what you talked about this morning?
Well, it was about getting to the net, getting pucks to the net, shooting with a purpose. But these guys are a committed defensive group, and it's not just their defensemen. I mean, their forwards are very committed and shooting lanes and making it difficult in front of their goaltender. And this game might be a little bit different than last night as far as Pittsburgh's a rush. Doesn't mean that these guys don't go on the rush, but the way that they check and very methodical. We're going to have to play a good, hard, patient game, and might come down to one of those, 1-0 game, and who makes the first mistake.
How do you combat maybe some of your fatigue against them being fresh?
This is the NHL. This is professional hockey. You do it in the minors. You obviously do it at this level where you have some travel. We played last night. We benefited when we played Minnesota here. Minnesota played the previous night at home and had to travel, so it's part of it. And we're going to need all four lines. We're going to need all six defensemen. Manage the ice. We're going to have to be disciplined, not give them power plays and those types of things, and how you manage the puck. There's things that you can do within the game that will help you with your energy. Because if you're turning pucks over and you're chasing, you're defending, that becomes difficult, then you wear down. So we're going to have to be smart in how we handle the puck.
Go back to Curtis McElhaney.
Curtis will play, yeah.
Same lineup otherwise?
Right now, yes.
One of the emphases in that broadcast, they kept talking about how you're the youngest team in the league, which is, I'm just curious, that works both ways. Like, it's kind of like they're saying you have this tremendous potential, but they're also maybe saying you're not, maybe you're not, they're giving you an excuse for not beating Pittsburgh or whatever. How do you view that? Is that as a coach, is that a positive or a negative, or is it either one?
For me, I look at it as a positive. I agree with kind of your viewpoint of this. To me, it's can't be viewed as an excuse, but it is a fact. I think there was a way that we could have won the game last night. Despite having a young team, and it's no different tonight. And we just have to find that way. And part of to me, being a coach and coaching a young team is you have a bunch of young guys with enthusiasm and work, and they want to get better, they want to learn. But there are some growing pains that go along with it, because you will make some youthful mistakes, and there are some things that happen throughout a game, whether it's on the ice or in the locker room, that if you were a little bit older, you may be able to get rid of some of those issues. But that's part of being young and growing a team and growing an organization.
Todd, speaking of age, looks like you'll see Brodeur tonight. Is there any part of you that's amazed at what he's able to do at his age? I mean,
it's how old is he exactly? Is he 40? 41.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm only about 6 years older than he is, so I can't imagine myself playing. And it is amazing what those guys, but the great ones have it. You saw it with Chelios too when he was able to play. And, there's other great athletes that not just in hockey, but have been able to sustain and play, into their 40s. And it's how they prepare, it's how they take care of themselves, that they can stay at a high level. And I think some of it is luck too, just staying healthy and the body stays healthy. But some of that is how they take care of themselves.
Are there any other players playing right now that have created a legacy like he has? I mean, he comes to mind as the,
Well, there are players that are playing. I mean, they're young players right now. I mean, like, Sidney Crosby's, coming down. And I'm not going to say his last year, but maybe his last 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, he's creating a legacy. You know that. You can find the great ones in this game right now, the young players, and they're doing that right now. So in 10, 15 years, however long he plays for, there's going to come a point where we'll be talking about him.
Does your team need to play maybe a little bit emotionally smarter game? Has that been a point of emphasis as well? Dubinsky and Foligno, the incidents late in games.
We have to be better at that as a group. Emotion's a big part of this game. When you're out there and you're playing with lots of energy and it gets physical and gets intense, you have to have emotion. Like, we need some emotion in the game tonight, because I think that's what helps drive you as a player. It's what helps drive your game. It gets energy in the building, but it's got to be in control. There's that line that you just can't cross. You want to walk that line, but the minute you cross it, whether it's a penalty or whether you do something out on the ice that takes you out of position, just because emotion has taken over kind of your thought process, and it takes over the controls you have out on the ice, and that now you're doing some things that in the end may hurt the team.